In less than an hour, Election Day 2012 will get underway. Residents of the Rio Grande Valley will hit the polls and cast their ballots to give us some more perspective into some of these key races. Recent redistricting and what this means for voters is local Republican Party Chair Hollis Rutledge. Good morning, Mr. Rutledge. Thank you so much for being with us.
Former, that is.
There you go. Well, thank you. Yes, former. Thank you. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about this redistricting situation because it seems to have been causing a lot of confusion. What can you tell us?
Well, rightfully so. I mean, our primary is supposed to have been in March. We had the census, we had the legislature carve out the map. It was challenged, it went to court, and here we are, you know, with a primary election on the 29th. It finally was agreed upon by all parties, including both the major parties of the state, the Democrats and Republicans.
You were talking to me right now about a certain District 35 that's so confusing because it goes from Hidalgo to almost to Harlingen. How does this work, and what do you know about it?
That was part of the redistricting plan that was agreed upon. It runs from the extreme western part of Hidalgo County, mainly Sullivan City and La Jolla, and then it goes up northern Hidalgo County, and then it kind of dips into the Harlingen area, and that's the newly created district that was added as a result of course, the census. That was certainly an interesting
development.
Development, yes, as part of the agreement.
And this was statewide. This is what you're speaking of, that district 35.
Yeah, this is the House State Representative District that now we have a common representative in this case. Once we have a nominee that will encompass part of Hidalgo and part of Cameron County.
But aside from this one, there's a lot of highly contested races that we're looking at right now. For instance, the Congressional District 34, it's also a newly created seat. Talk to us about that.
Yes, well, it was as a result of redistricting, of course. It was, it's the significance here is it's now totally anchored in the valley, geographically. And it's a new district, one of 4 that the state of Texas was able to gain as a result of population shifts. And yes, it's a highly contested race, both on the Democratic side as well as the Republican side, and it'll be interesting to see how that all develops as the night goes on this evening.
You're going to be a busy man this today.
Absolutely.
What other races can you talk to us about that are going to be very tight, you think?
We may be looking at the House seat District 40 that has several candidates on the Democratic side, none on the Republican, that may require a runoff. We may be looking also on the U.S. Senate side. Of course, our Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst, who's seeking election as the nominee for the U.S. Senate, with 9 others that are in play. And that's going to be interesting to see whether he'll be able to secure the nomination without a runoff. And of course, the most significant of all is the presidential race.
Right.
We have 155 delegates that we offer up at the National Convention in Orlando this coming August, and this may be the night for Romney to secure the nomination, which is the magic number in this case, 1,144 delegates, and I think in this case Texas will do it for him tonight.
Very big race for him, definitely. Aside from this, what projections do you feel will be as far as numbers go for the Republican Party? How many do you think will go head to the polls? Do you feel that the party has done a good, strong job getting those people to head out to the polls and cast their ballots? I
think that there's a lot of compelling reasons why we probably will see a large participation in both primaries. I just saw the results of the early vote. I think it's brisk. It's certainly not what we want, but it's certainly brisk, and it'll be interesting to see how this pans out throughout today and see how many people participate. But I anticipate a brisk turnout for both parties.
All right, Mr. Rutledge, we're going to keep you around. We're going to have a lot more to speak of as far as these races go, so stick around with us.